Molly and Gil were swimming to school one morning when they heard a loud whistle. "Let's go check it out," said Gil. The two Guppies followed the sound to a busy train station. As a passenger train pulled away from the station, Gil and Molly spotted someone fixing the whistle on a small black train. "There's the engineer who works on the train," said Molly. The engineer smiled. "This here's old number 9. She's a steam locomotive, and she's over 100 years old." He patted the whistle. "Old number 9 is gonna need this if she's gonna be in the triple-track train race today." When Gil and Molly got to school, they told all their friends about old number 9. "When the engineer blew the whistle, it went woo-woo," said Gil. "What does engineer mean?" asked Una. "The engineer is the person who drives the train," explained Nani. "Let's think about trains," said Mr. Grouper. "Trains get from here to there by riding along tracks," said Molly. Mr. Grouper nodded. "And trains stop and pick people up at the station," said Goby. The Bubble Guppies chugged off to lunch in engineer costumes. "What did you get for lunch, Nani?" asked Una. Nani opened his lunchbox. "Trackaroni and cheese." Later that day, Mr. Grouper told the Guppies he was taking them to the triple-track train race. "Field trip!" they cheered excitedly. They couldn't wait to watch old number 9 race against the Superliner passenger train and the Mighty Miss freight train. Molly, Gil, and Bubble Puppy joined the engineer in old number 9. The 3 trains lined up at the starting gate. "Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines," called the announcer. A checkered flag dropped, and the trains were off. The trains were neck and neck when they went around the first corner. But then the Superliner pulled in front. "Wow, that's a really fast train," said Gil. Molly and Gil saw a steep mountain up ahead. One track went around it, another track went over it, and a third track went through it. The Superliner reached the mountain first. "Ladies and gentlemen, the Superliner is going around the mountain," called the announcer. The Mighty Miss roared up to the mountain and took the track that went over it. Whistling and tooting, old number 9 took the track through the mountain. "In just a few moments, we should be able to see the trains as they come around to the finish line," said the announcer. In the distance, a whistle blew. Old number 9 came chugging out of the tunnel. She was in first place. The engineer blew the whistle again. He didn't see the whistle come loose and tumble off the train. Just then, a herd of cows stepped onto the tracks. "Look out!" cried Molly. The engineer pulled the brakes, and old number 9 screeched to a halt. "Quick, Molly, pull the whistle," said Gil. But when Molly pulled, there was no sound. "Oh no, we lost our whistle," said the engineer. Molly and Gil could hear the other trains approaching behind them. "What are we going to do?" asked Molly. Bubble Puppy leapt out and ran down the track. He picked up the train whistle and took it to the engineer. "I'd better put this back on, quick," said the engineer. He fastened the whistle onto the train. Molly blew the whistle, and the cows moved out of the way. "All clear," she called. The engineer started the train, and old number 9 raced ahead, with the express train and the freight train right behind. "This is going to be incredibly close," shouted the announcer as the trains neared the finish line. Old number 9 whistled and chugged and crossed the line first. "Thanks, kids," said old number 9's engineer. "I couldn't have done it without you. And a special thanks to you, Bubble Puppy." "Fantastic!" cheered the Bubble Guppies.